Gold.
Part two.
I'm Christine.
I'm Jamie.
We are here for Gold Part 2.
Oh my god, and then it's Goldfinch.
Well, I already started Goldfinch, to be honest.
I got like 2 chapters in and I got really overwhelmed and just scared a little bit.
You got upset?
I just can't handle this right now.
Well, I wanted to ask you a question. So I've been wondering this, and it also came up in my head as I was finishing Gold, which is the Wrath member that you relate to the most. So if we think of Lou, if we think of Judd, if we think of Osrik, and I think I'm including Riot in this.
I would include Riot.
Yeah, I don't know if Slade says explicitly that Riot is part of them, I assume. So who is there someone you gravitate the most? You're like, I would be this person if I were in the Wrath.
I mean, I gravitate mostly to Osrik being my boyfriend.
Gravitate to his body and his personality.
I feel like a mix of Osrik and Riot, I would say, for myself.
You're such a Riot.
It's weird with his name. I never really noticed that. I am a Riot.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Riot has stewed a lot in these books, and he's kept a back seat, and he's probably really resentful. Mm-hmm. And when he's spoken up, he feels like he's not heard. He's like a little brother, and I know that you're not a little brother.
No, but I've always felt that way, that I'm more the younger sibling type person, which I did say in your wedding speech as well.
You did.
Yeah, that I've never really felt like the oldest, and I think I do a lot of the time take a step back from things and don't. So I think I relate to him a lot like that. And Osrik, I don't even know what it is. Don't have a big beard or anything, but I think his personality, there's something that I just love, but also identify with a bit.
Do you want me to read my Osrik quote then? Because this is actually what sparked this curiosity in me.
Did you read this quote and you were like, oh my god, it's Jamie?
No, I read the quote and I was like, oh, that's me.
Oh, okay.
I related to it, and I was like, oh, I think I'm Osrik. And then I was like, oh, I wonder, who would we be in the ecosystem of the Wrath?
Okay, yeah, do it. I haven't looked at any of your notes.
Okay, so he says, or he thinks, when people see me coming, they move out of the way. I'm not like Judd. They don't smile and wave at me, hope for my attention. That's usually the last thing people want from me, and that suits me just fucking fine. I don't want attention from anyone either. And so it's kind of a sad and dark quote, but I don't think of it that way.
No, I get that.
I get it, and it reminds me very much of the Nesta conversations that we've had from A Court of Thorns and Roses series, in just this idea of being someone who maybe is not the most the person that other people gravitate to.
Yes.
I've never ever felt that way.
No,
and I've
same.
had many examples in my life where I've gotten lots of evidence for that.
Yeah.
Where I am not.
Yes, but I feel like I gravitate towards people like that, or I've had friends like that.
Yes.
And they are very much those people, and I'm like, okay, I'll just kind of be with you, and that makes me comfortable, but I don't want what you're getting.
Right. And I think there is a big difference between I don't feel confident in myself, so I attach myself to someone who is super charismatic and super has people gravitating towards them, versus I just mesh with people who maybe are better in the spotlight or getting attention, or who are the person that gravitates towards them, because I don't ever feel like I'm self-conscious or I lack confidence in any way. I just
don't like being the center of attention.
No, but I'm also even if I were to try to be the center of attention, or to try to be that person, it wouldn't work. That's just not me.
Yeah.
So it's just that's never my role in terms of social situations or relationships. Mm-hmm. So it very much feels like how Osrik is speaking. It doesn't feel like Osrik's oh, I'm sad, Slade's popular. It's just he's just yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, this is who I am.
I'm not this funny, friendly guy. I'm just kind of a Oscar the Grouch. Mm-hmm. And you know, maybe I don't have like the best social skills sometimes, but like I have good intentions, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So we're both Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
But I do want to be Lou though.
I 100% want to be Lou. I also feel like you are a tiny bit of Judd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why do
I
you say
feel
that?
like for people that like know you well.
Oh, like goofy?
Yeah.
No, totally.
Yeah. So I feel like you're like close.
I would, yeah, no. If I
Friends.
know people really well and I'm really comfortable with them, I want to be the Judd.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think you're a little bit Osric, a little bit of Judd. Like I
Okay.
would see you as.
Oh my God, I'll take it.
Right?
I'll take
Because,
it.
yeah, funny. It's great.
Okay.
And I feel like when you're like in that like side, like you are very like charismatic and funny. So I think you're like a bit
But like
him.
we have to have a 20-year friendship and
Yes. Yeah.
in our very small social circle.
Yeah. And I'm amazing when that happens.
Hilarious. Okay, you wanted to tell me about a show that you've been watching.
Yes. So it's super big right now. I think I always think things are big because obviously when you're into them, like your phone just blows up with it.
The algorithm.
Yeah. But I do actually think it is. And I did recently get a friend to start it and she agrees. New show on Netflix. Nobody wants this. Adam Brody, Kristen Bell.
Never heard of it.
I mean, literally came out probably a week ago. It is so good. The chemistry. I love that they're like normal. They're not 20. And it's a rom-com. Like it's a show. But I haven't seen like a rom-com this good in I don't know how long. For anyone that watched the OC, I think it's just, you loved
Adam Brody.
Yeah, Seth Cohen. And yeah, he is so good. Everyone's gonna want to leave their husband or partner, girlfriend, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to watch a show. Oh, I'm on board.
Yeah, Ari was on board before it. The show is just actually just so good. Where I'm like, it's if you're not into like the.
Is it like about?
So.
Is it about dating?
Yeah, so they start dating. He's a rabbi, and she's actually a podcast host with her sister.
Perfect.
Yes. They randomly meet through friends, and it's kind of that journey where she's technically a shiksa, because she's not Jewish, blonde woman.
Okay.
So that's a shiks. I think, I don't know, I might mess it up. Shiksa.
Okay, don't give all the plot away.
Yeah. No, that's literally the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he really shouldn't, like, technically be dating her. It's a really, like, healthy, romantic journey, but it's also just all the characters surrounding them are so good.
And it's not people in their 20s.
And it's not people in their 20s.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
It's amazing. They do kiss at one point. Spoiler. Not really spoiler. Well, obviously that's going to happen. And it is one of the best first kisses in television Netflix history.
So I should stop watching The Golden Bachelorette?
100% yes.
No.
Yep.
You want to talk about the drink?
Nope.
What? Was it that bad?
No, that was my joke. It's just a joke.
I'm the Judd, so.
You're not allowed to make jokes.
Okay. So our drink today was another journey.
Christine's journey.
We've been having a lot of journeys lately.
Yeah.
And I told you many times to make me stop trying. And I almost
did.
You
switched up last minute.
I know, exactly. I did almost stop trying. Is what I was going to say, because I changed the drink yesterday. And up until yesterday, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to stick with the simple drink that I had planned forever. Mm-hmm. And then I felt guilty. Because it's really rare that you have the actual cocktails in the story.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so
that's true.
Oh, I'm just going to bypass this because I'm lazy. Fine, I'll try. Because in the second half of Gold, Auren says at the Brielle party, it tastes like smoked vanilla and goes down with decadent warmth. The crackling foam top sending bubbles right to my head. Now, that sounds
amazing.
That sounds really exciting. Lower your expectations because of this journey, because I was unable to make it smoked. I tried. I actually had been trying before to do research. I'm like, how do I make a smoked drink?
Yeah.
Now, I am underskilled in the cocktail department, which means I am not ready for a cocktail smoker.
Mm-hmm.
That is a device that I am not ready for. And I'm unwilling to invest in.
Yeah, it's fair.
So I'm not doing it. Now, the other option is to buy smoked liquor. Well, is there a liquor that out on our local liquor stores or one you can order? Absolutely not.
Oh,
right?
Interesting.
Unless it's a beer, which I didn't want to make it a smoked beer.
Yeah,
that sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I'm going to use a liquid smoke. But our local stores only have liquid smoke that are hickory.
Oh.
So for like cooking meat and
Yeah.
stuff. So
You really went down
disgusting. It's a journey.
Yeah. You went down. I didn't realize you went on such a journey with us.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
And it's also really hard to find a cocktail that has vanilla in the forefront of its flavors. So I feel like I've swung and I have to accept what's to come. Because here's what I came up with. Jamie and I have already tasted the drink just because
it's a hot one.
It was a hot one and I didn't want it to get cold by the time we turned on the record. So it's chai tea and I added vanilla, or I should say it's chai tea. I cooked coconut cream with some vanilla and cinnamon and sugar. I added that to it and some spiced rum. And then I frothed
that actually really sounds
some
delicious.
Coconut milk on top.
Yeah.
And sprinkled some cinnamon and sugar on the top of that.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. That was my attempt.
And it wasn't bad. It sounds delicious when you said it out loud. I think just some of the ingredients need to be more or less.
You suggested not coconut cream.
Yes, just because it ended up coming out more than I thought it would.
Like the coconut flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can try it with a heavy cream instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would even say a little bit less rum in it.
It was a lot of rum.
Yeah, like
it was 2 ounces, which is
I would do like
normal
1
for
and a
a
half,
cocktail, but
maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, it has good bones.
Yeah, it's good. She even
say.
frothed the milk.
I did it, and you have a frother.
I do, which was a really fun surprise for you.
It was really fun. Yeah. I thought I was going to have to shake it in a shaker for several minutes, but I didn't.
No, I have an electric handheld frother for my fancy coffee.
The name of it?
Yes.
Okay, initially I was like, I guess I'll name it Brielle, but that's kind of boring.
That is boring.
But
thank you for saying it.
What?
I said thank you for saying that.
Oh, you didn't want to offend me.
No, I didn't want to say that.
So the little town that exists offside of Brielle where they have the party.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Brielle is all scorched, right? It was on fire. So there's a little town to the side where they have the party that's called Erith. Which is exactly how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Which means the clamor of the blaze. That's what the little town is called.
Okay, so what are you calling it?
Nehanosaurus.
Okay.
You got that, Jamie?
Mm-hmm. You got like Turley or...
But that's the name of the town that like resurfaced after Brielle was scorched. The survivors made this little town to the south.
Okay, I get it now.
This is where all the survivors are.
Yes. Okay, now I get it.
Do you just think I made that up?
It really confused me when you tried to pronounce it.
It's on your papers. You try to pronounce it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, Neonocerith, the clamor of the blaze.
Oh, I don't know what country that was from, but I think that was way better than what I did.
You're welcome.
Okay, well that's what it's called.
Okay.
Okay, well let's get into gold part 2. Ironic, isn't it?
What?
You here, being locked in this very cage. You let your husband lock up his gilded pet here.
Let him? Tyndall was going to do as he pleased. It had nothing to do with me.
I don't think that's true. It's quite cruel to have kept her here, and yet you did. Now you've taken her place.
I didn't keep her here. She was perfectly content being his little golden whore. She was doted on every day, given every luxury, and...
Did you ask her?
What?
Did you ask her? Or were you simply so jealous that you didn't care? Admit it. You like that she was kept locked in here. It helped you feel she was so adequately punished for capturing the attention of your husband. Personally, I would have played with her a bit, driven her mad with voices until she snapped. Or I would have just killed her. But to each her own. You played your own game. But you lost.
I was playing no game.
To answer your question fully, I didn't kill Midas. His gilded pet did. So very scandalous, isn't it? What was it you said? Oh, yes. She was perfectly content being his little golden whore. It seems you're wrong because that little golden whore killed him.
You're lying.
Am I? I suppose I could be, but in this case, the truth is much more interesting. Tell me, did you know he was a fraud?
What?
No, I didn't think so.
Kayla, listen to me. The Fae are coming. Unlock this door this instant. You can't keep me in here.
Queen to queen, I'll let you in on a little secret. That gilded whore is much more than she seems, and so am I. What are you, Malina?
And the Oscar goes to...
Us. As Kayla and Malina. I love that scene.
Right?
Because I feel like it is a scene where they are both villains.
Yeah.
But it's like I rooting for them like 2 to 20%.
Because rooting for Malina more at this point.
Right. But it's also like, or I don't know who to root for, but yeah, more on the Malina side. But it's, yeah.
It's also seeing Kayla, after all this time kind of questioning.
Yeah.
But no, she is aware kind of what's happened with Auren and Midas and knows...
our question got answered that she knows that it was Auren's power. She knew the whole time.
Yeah, she was just making whatever she had to do work for her. And she's doing this again with Malina.
Mm-hmm.
Malina showing up, I think, like right before this happened. And seeing Kayla there talking and about how she was betrothed to my... Like, can you imagine?
Oh.
It's like, what? Everyone thinks I'm dead? My husband has a new wife? And then she sees, like, Mist running around screaming pregnant. And what a welcome home party.
Yeah, like, so helpless. Just, you can't really do anything about it.
And then thinking, like, obviously Kayla tricked her to get her into the cage. But it was so, yes, also weird thinking back to, like, the beginning to Malina being in the cage. And, like, when she attacked Auren, just to be back in that...
Just that area of the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now she's in the cage.
Yeah, just...
Because, obviously, Kayla is being villainous, right?
Mm-hmm.
In what she's doing. But it's also, like, a realization for Malina where she's almost, like, scolding her. Even though she's being the villain and she's doing awful things. But she's also scolding her for, like... Oh, did you actually think that she wasn't a victim? But also Kayla's like, but I also don't care that she was a victim. But also because I would use her for my own means. But, like, don't pretend that you are not the villain also.
Yeah.
If you're going to be the villain, then be the villain. I'm the villain.
Okay, yeah, and I'm aware. I'm selfish and I'm doing what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then how she does, I think, like, more of their conversation about Auren, but just even the part where she's like, but did you ask her?
Mm-hmm.
And say it like that just brought me back to, like, when Auren with Riot.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, did you ask him? Like, no. And same thing with that. Like, you never did that because you're getting in your own head and you're just making up these preconceived ideas that that's who she was, that's what she wanted. It was just such an interesting conversation on, so many levels. And Kayla was so right in some stuff, but then you are also on Malina's side.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, to see the queens kind of come together. And I do also love right before they did this, they're at the table talking. And Malina does say she would give up her crown to her if that would make her, like, the people listen.
Mm-hmm.
And she even says to herself, she's like, I had no problem doing that. Like, she wasn't. So you see that growth, like, within her. And I do like that she, I think, mentions once or twice how she's not alone, because Dominic is in the shadows when they first arrive and see Kayla talking. He's like behind her, she can feel him behind her, and he says, like, we can go right away if you need to, because they're kind of looking at her like she's crazy. And she's like, no, but just the fact that she just has like one person
Mm-hmm.
standing with her, that just like enough support, even though it's hundreds or who knows how many people looking at her like that. And she's like, no, I can do this, I can, like, because she has that one person that's standing with her. And I just like that.
Which is really relatable, right? It's like, if one person sees your humanity, that you are more than just this thing, then that's enough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dominic then.
Dominic?
So there was obviously some evolution in the relationship. Like, some of the quotes I wrote down were, despite the fact that I'm an excellent rider, Dominic insists on sharing the damn horse. And so I thought, nobody's really taken care of her in this way. So even though she's a queen and she's been really privileged, this is a different type of care. It's like, it doesn't feel like an obligation or that he thinks she's incapable. And then she thinks he doesn't try to direct me or argue with me or say he knows better. So it's like she's just getting this really different relationship with a man, which is so different than what she's had with her father and with Midas, where it isn't about control and power. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, I did really like the horse riding, and I do think the horse riding is such like a tropey thing, I want to say.
Close proximity.
Yes. And there is just one thing where I think they almost fell at one point, like something happened, and then they get back on and they're riding the horse, and then he has his hands around her and he's doing circles on her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I've read that.
Circles on the stomach?
Yeah, where they're like riding and doing I was like, why is that such a thing?
I don't know.
Right? But I'm like, well, now I need to do that in my life. I need to fall in love. We need to go on a horseback ride, and you just need to do circles on my stomach.
Well, just put it out there. Looking for a man with a horse.
Just a mini horse ride. We don't need to go on high cliffs. Not into heights.
Steep high cliffs.
We can take the horse around in the parking lot.
In a blizzard. So another key part of their relationship was the scene where he says, "Let me in."
Mm-hmm.
And this was so powerful.
It was...
And he always does the double meanings, right?
Yes.
And we did it last time. He's like, "I'll kill you," but yeah, I forget.
There's a lot that he has just said in this book in general. Yeah. Like, you're so quick and clever, Dominic.
But it's sort of like, okay, I want a French, but also let me into your heart. It's like, let me into your mouth with my tongue, but also let me into your heart.
But we both know it's more than that.
Yeah. And Malina thinks, every man I've ever opened for has always trotted on me, burned my heart to ash, left me to scrape up the remnants. So perhaps my heart is made of ice, but if it is, it's because the cold that everyone saw me as in the cold protected me. Which is another one of those relatable experiences, right? Where you have these sort of protective barriers over yourself to not let anyone hurt you. So
I'm a big fan of that.
Protective ice over your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It protects you.
Yeah, don't fuck with me.
That's right.
Until you have the fire to warm it, like Dominic.
That, yes. And some shadows to travel in.
Exactly.
My also question is, there is a part where she talks about it's going to be like their last like shadow travel.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to do that? Because it sounds really weird.
Shadow travel?
Yeah.
Over what? Never doing shadow travel? Because yeah, I'll try it. Why not?
I'm good. It sounded really nauseous, like.
Well, yeah, I mean, did she say she was nauseous? Because maybe I'll opt out if there's nausea. Another thing, when they do end up doing the deed.
Okay, well, let me get to my page on that. Oh my god.
I didn't write much on it, but I just thought it was funny that it was like, Malina wants to die, but it turns into a sex scene.
One of my favorites, I'm gonna have to say.
The kill me, oh, now we're doing it.
Yeah, it was good. Real good. It was very them.
It was very, very them, because it's like, if you put it in another context, or if you put it with different characters, it's like, this is disturbing.
But it was like also like this situation, right? Like, we're gonna die.
But it's like, he can handle all of her bullshit, all of her like darkness, all of her coldness. So it's like so interesting to see where she goes in the deep, dark depths of shame.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, just fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Right? I'm this bad person. I did all these things. I can't fix it. Just kill me. I deserve to be killed. It's really dark and sad. But then it turns into this scene of, I don't know, he like uplifts her, even though it's like a sex scene, right? And back to like Raven Kennedy being able to write these sex scenes where this isn't just about sex.
It's like a bigger thing, but it's such an intense sex scene, but still means so much more than the actual. But I think that's also, sex can be like an expression of that as well. He does again say something like, I'm yours or you're mine or something like along. So it is like just also like, I'm saving you from this moment. And
even if other people don't think you're important or salvageable, I do.
Yeah. And I'm going to show you what it's like to live. Like, you're mine. I'm your, like, just, there's just so many different complexities to it than just the sex part.
You are redeemable. And I really love that Dominic, he never panders to her, or I don't know what the other word is, but he never goes like, tries to downplay what she did, right? Mm-hmm. Like, she did something really, really fucked up, even though she didn't mean to do it. She just didn't have her eyes open. That led to a whole bunch of people being slaughtered.
Yeah.
Which is really horrible. I don't know how you would live with that. And yet, he doesn't go like, oh, it wasn't your fault, or you didn't mean to. He never does that with her.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. He just goes like, you look forward, you keep going. You can do this.
Yeah. We're not
You're
giving
here.
up.
You're
We're not
here.
dying.
You still have power. You still have,
Yeah.
You still have the ability to do something, even though you will never, maybe in a sense, never be able to redeem yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like sugarcoat it for her.
And I mean, she does show that in her actions as well. Like, she also does, I feel like, really take that in. And I don't think she would have been able to do that without him.
Definitely.
Being that person.
Oh, yeah. No, she never would have gotten there.
Yeah. Which maybe also is, like, just him being an assassin.
Yeah.
Kind of, like, relating. Because I don't know this, but I don't also think that was, like, a choice for him. Similar to the Saddles.
I didn't write anything about Kayla running away.
Okay.
You could just talk about it if you wanted to.
I mean, I have like stuff written down. I just think I was just so frustrated for Malina, where one part I did have a quote written down where she's like, I want to cry, I want to scream, because she worked and passed out building up these blocks of ice to try and hold back the Fae, and they got back there and Kayla's soldiers are taking them down. Like, my whole body was just like, even though I knew it was going to happen again. I was just like, what the fuck? And they're laughing at you like you're crazy. And Kayla's just sitting on the blocks of ice like, oh.
If you think about it, though, that's probably the, like, similar feelings of, which makes Malina's story much more complicated of whether we like or hate her or whatever, is that's probably what the people of Highbell have felt like towards Malina and Tyndall for so many years, right? It's like, you live in the kingdom where gold reigns. There's gold everywhere, so you would assume, like Auren did, that everyone is okay, that everyone has enough, and yet you were looked at maybe as someone who doesn't have wealth in that kingdom and lives in the shanties, as if you were the one in the wrong. That somehow you've done something wrong in order to get yourself there.
Yeah.
rather than you being a product of your circumstances, and no matter what you do, you can't get ahead, and yet you live in this blizzard kingdom with a king that has unlimited wealth,
It does
and
nothing.
you still are not ahead, and somehow it's put on you that is your fault.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very, like, an experience of people in poverty, where it's like...
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like she's experienced that same sort of feeling, which I really like how that's mirrored here, because it moves along her story and her journey, yeah, of experiencing shame, but, like, obviously understanding more of, like, opening her eyes to the world.
My frustration was also just with Kayla.
Oh yeah, she's the worst.
Right? Like, when you're just sitting there, and then they see the Fae finally coming.
Yeah.
And all the people just adore her. And then even Malina's like, she gets on... Timberwing, yeah. And, like, they're kind of looking at her like, she's going to come back down, or she's going to... Yeah. No, she just flies away, and they're like, Queen Kayla, wait, what? Just takes off and leaves them all.
Yep.
And I was like, yep, that's about right. That seems just about right. And yeah,
she's fucked up.
Osrik walks into a flower shop.
Yeah, favorite scene, Osrik go to the flower shop. Yeah. Oh, careful there, sir. Captain Osrik, what a pleasant surprise to find you in my shop. Do you need to put it in order to resupply the plants for the army's medicinal uses?
No.
Oh, okay. Perhaps some dried spices that are good for traveling when you need to flavor up your rations? I'm running low, but I've got some excellent...
Don't need that either.
Do you need those mushrooms? I know some of the other soldiers like them to take the edge off.
No. I just need some fucking flowers.
You want... flowers?
Yeah. Flowers. Got any?
Of course, all sorts in the garden out back. We have favorites, of course. Roses, daisies, jasmines, peonies, lilies. Are you looking for anything specific?
Yellow bells.
Apologies, Captain Osrik, but I don't have any of those.
You have plenty of yellow flowers. I'm sure you have them.
I know every plant I'm growing. I don't carry yellow bells. No one tends to buy those. They're also quite poisonous.
You're a damn flower shop. I need a flower.
That particular flower just isn't very popular here. Not many like them, I suppose.
I fucking like them. Great. Also, just would be a great movie scene.
It is.
I love that part so much. He just, like, wants to find these
just give me the fucking flowers.
Yeah, I need to do something with myself. I need flowers. I need to do something.
Yeah.
And bring her something.
He's just so cute.
Yeah.
Just give me the fucking flowers.
Yeah. Go back and make them. I don't know. Just be like, tell them they're yellow bells. He probably wouldn't even know. Lie, flower shop lady, lie.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
She should have lied. That is a good lie. But just to get into the Osrik reset storyline, one of the sort of quotes that's maybe like a hidden quote was when it was Slade's POV, and we learned that there was that little girl that could heal him.
Yes.
And when he sends the little girl away to go do that, Slade thinks, I turned to make my way back to the castle. I should be there with him just in case it doesn't work. It's like, you know that Osrik and Slade never had a conversation about this.
Yes. Yeah. But he knows.
He just sees Osrik being with Reset 24/7.
Yeah.
That he just goes, okay. I see my friend doing that. I know what's happening. He doesn't need to say anything. And that when I send this little girl and let's say it doesn't work, I know I need to
be there, just
even though I have all my other shit going on, including Lou coming to say, "Oh, hey, the Fae are coming."
Yeah,
and the bridge
so
of
many
Liberia,
big things.
The bridge of Liberia is intact, and you can go see Auren. But on top of that, he just goes, "Oh, I gotta make sure, but I'm there for that for Osrik, because Osrik, what if that doesn't work?" And then he's devastated. I need to make sure I'm there for my friend. It's just like,
it's so beautiful. Such a beautiful man relationship.
It's a beautiful male friendship. That's what it is.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it so much. And then I don't know if you have anything to add about Risa being saved.
No.
I don't know if there's anything to say. Just like, ugh. Yes.
Yeah, just love Oz. That's pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll super happy she didn't die. Little girl seems really cool.
Okay, let's get into Slade.
His heart sounds disgusting.
His heart?
The description of it, like it's like coming out of his body. It sounds so gross, and I just really needed to mention that.
It is gross.
Yeah.
We also get King Thold.
Right.
So I didn't cast King Thold in the last book because I'm just like, he seemed relevant but not enough relevant. But I think the reason I was like not sure is because I totally forgot he came back in this book.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, that makes sense that he seemed more relevant to me is because he is in this book actually.
Yeah.
And I like him. I think he has a cool snake.
That's what she said.
It's very Britney Spears. And
he wears the same outfit actually.
As Britney Spears?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he wears the cute little green bra top and little hip. Yeah.
Oh.
And holds the snake exactly like that.
I feel like my casting would like this. But I do like the political plays they make with like when we're working and
yes, I did enjoy that. Yeah,
that
they're
was
like,
really
and
fun.
they were all on like the same page about it. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Okay. Other than that, like within there's not like a whole bunch that happens with Slade's POV in these chapters. Like Kayla comes back to save Manu, and Manu's like really gross and he's all rotted and tortured, but Kayla saves him, and for some reason Slade.
Well, she doesn't really save him,
but kind of because they use her as leverage.
Yeah.
Of like, we need your army, we need you to help us with the Fae, but...
So she does agree, which is cool, but... I mean, I'm happy Manu didn't die.
I know.
I do like him as a character.
Let's just hope it pays off. Let's hope Manu does something in Goldfinch that makes him living worthy of this scene.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. Well, that's it for Slade. I feel like, yeah, Slade's just like, I'm rotting. Where's Auren?
I mean, I was pumped when he found out because I do like how it, like Malina's, it was a very specific part where she made eye contact with someone and like, we know it's Lou in the crowd. That Lou had this like reaction.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Lou was there, and then she reported to Slade.
Well, she did say she did try and fight as much as she could.
Okay, let's get to Auren.
Okay.
So we start in the second half with Auren and Brielle, which is the place where her parents were killed and she was taken. This was, I don't know, like sad and nostalgic and also motivating. Like it was a whole bunch of emotions in these scenes.
Yeah.
Where she finds her way back to her old home.
And she just knew instinctively where to go, and then everyone kind of felt like this is also great movie scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Really kind of reminded me of like Hunger Games-ish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally had those vibes. She has this memory of her mom, and her mom says, "My little son, where is your shine?"
"It's here, Mama."
"Good, my girl, because all I want is for you to be happy. You have your own light, little sun, so you must carry it with you when it grows dark. But you can do that because we are strong, aren't we?"
I love your mother's sing-songy
Thank
voice.
you. I'm a real mother.
Oh my God, a real mother.
But
right here with us.
But at the end of the chapter, Auren says, or thinks, "Aren't we?"
Yeah, I did. That whole part I did just love.
And she has lots of memories of like
it's
her
weird
playing
how
on
it
the streets, and it just like all comes back to her just being a normal child, and the amount of grief is like huge.
And then I do love then everyone does follow her, and they put down the pins or whatever,
all of the Lihari
sigils, and then she puts her gold and wrought in to make this beautiful tree. And
chills. This scene gave me chills.
Yeah, it was a great moment. I think before this kind of happened, or as it was happening, I think it was Wick. Although they tried, they couldn't extinguish all the light of the Turleys that night. You've been a beacon in the dark, even while you were gone, and now that you've returned, you're Anwin's dawning sun. So that said to her, but I was just like, I'm almost kind of frustrated for her a little bit. I'm like, when does she like get a choice in her life about like who she is, what she is it seems like she's always something for somebody else.
Right, which is her sort of back and forth with the woman and Wick. And
yeah. And
even though she's in a more positive situation now where people want good for her, and even though they want something from her, it's because of her strengths and they respect her and all those things, it still feels like a burden.
Yeah, even though it is all these, like, good things, and I mean, like, that's life and, like, that's the story, but I'm also just very, like, I would just wish she could catch a bit of a break.
And then we get a party.
Yeah. Yeah, except party sounds super fun. That was my comment I wrote down.
Oh, yeah, I just wrote, this is where we get the smoked vanilla drink.
Yes, and I did have, like, a reference to that.
Could not recreate.
Yeah, it was like, the drink sounds amazing.
I know. Whatever. I try my best.
It wasn't bad.
Okay, but then we get to the mission. Oh,
okay,
sorry.
yes, but before that, then when they do wake up, and then they're given this, like, hangover cure thing.
Oh, yeah.
They really wish...
That would be really nice. I would really like that.
Yeah, also they just, like, feel better. I was like, imagine.
And Wick is like, oh, I don't get hungover. And you're like, shut the fuck up, Wick. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't drink anything, but you just do that because it makes you feel...
And you're like, oh, I'm great.
Like more of a man.
I did like Emily, I think this comment was like, Auren said something about how she was going to puke, and she's like, well, don't do that after everyone's been cheering your name all night or something. I enjoy her. Just another one I think
you're really great, so please don't puke.
Yeah, let's not ruin this person's house. Probably, God.
Yeah. Okay, so then we get, this is like the epic ending, right? The Volman mission to the Cull House.
This I did have like a random lot.
It's a lot. I did have like a random thing I wrote in my notes app that made me laugh. So I wrote down Lydia is where the bridge stinks.
Oh, because there's it's like
where the bridge of Flamiri as it's connected to Lydia and the bridge stinks.
Yeah,
but it just made me laugh because all I wrote was Lydia's where bridge stinks. Okay, that's funny. I'm not sure why that was important to me at the time.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I did enjoy that. So we do also meet Brenner, and I remember the first time reading this and like just kind of noting his reaction to seeing her was different. Like he was everyone else that's been like, oh my god, it's Turley or whatever, but how his reaction was described was like shock, but it was like a different type of shock. And then she all of a sudden had this, like, smell reaction.
The mission where Auren goes into Cull House, and then she finds, you know, the Drollard village Orions, and actually her killing the stone sword with that single bead of gold. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, she did it twice.
It was so good. It was like, just...
I'm obsessed with it, actually. Because she did it once. Radar. Yeah, with when they were walking through the street to get there.
Yeah.
And I just love, it was her, Emily, being like, oh, are you okay? We'll help you over here.
Those types of kills are so wonderful. Then the like, oh, we're gonna sword fight scenes, or like, you know, sort of aggressive scenes, like those under the radar ones where like the character is underestimated and so just a poor satisfying.
Helpless woman.
Yes,
walking
I
through
don't
the
know
streets.
What I'm doing. I'm just giving everyone their toilets and
then yes, that part, and that one I liked even more because with the one in the street, it was kind of more immediate where he was like kind of like oh, but that she's like it's gonna be like slow.
He's gonna die slowly.
Yeah.
So after reading this part again, I was like, why didn't I see the connections? And maybe those types of, because there's a type of reader that reads these books and is like, I'm gonna put the pieces together before the pieces are put together. And I'm like, I don't try to do that. I'm just like reading. But then also when reading it again, I'm like, bleh.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember reading it the first time and she talks about walking up to the house and the first part there's a description when they're walking up and there's a pond. And she mentions that there's a pond or a little lake, and right away I was like, oh, like that clicked in my head that Slade, like his young years, talked about at the pond and the tree. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, could it? I was like, no. Obviously, the second time around, it's very obvious as descriptions go on.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember reading it the first time, and I was like, oh my God. Like, right away being like, oh
Duh.
my God. Yeah, I am understanding what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not going to be good. Also confused because it said call, which was confusing.
Well, obviously, Ruin kind of did that on purpose because otherwise.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 things happen in this ending that are important. One of them is that Wick is a Turley.
That part was just wild.
The whole time we were reading Gold, I was waiting for the reveal of Wick being a Turley.
Mm-hmm.
But I could not remember. I didn't know when in the book it happened.
Yeah.
I think in my memory I thought maybe it happened in their introduction where he's like, oh, I'm a Turley. Like, I was so vague in the details of this book because it had been a
Yeah,
long
I had
time
read it
since
closer
I read it.
too, I think.
Yeah.
So I had a better recollection.
So I was coming into today, before I had finished the last few chapters, I was coming in today going, okay, I need to talk to Jamie about this being a dream, because it was so stuck in my head that I was like, because it's in the very last chapters, right?
Yeah,
So
like so much just gets jammed in there.
I knew that in my brain that Wick was a Turley, so I was like, oh, I imagined it. I dreamt it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm going to tell Jamie that I thought
No,
that
but then
happened.
we had talked about, because when she first sees him, she says something about like bronze.
What?
Something about when they first met in the field, and she mentioned something about because of a bronze hue on it. He had brought something with his skin. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Where I was like, ooh, foreshadowing. Like when I read again, I feel like I thought we had that conversation.
We didn't. We didn't. No. I just thought it was a funny dream. But it did happen. Yeah, we do discover that Wick is a Turley, and it's his blood, which is so cool.
Gold blood.
That's so cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Out of all the things,
you have gold blood?
No.
Especially when you're trying to hide it, right?
I mean, when you're trying to hide it, that's
you are a Turley. Now, obviously, in Goldfinch, that's going to be a thing because they don't get to talk about it. But Auren's going to be like, what the fuck, man?
I hope that's a reaction.
I already have trust issues. I already have trust issues with you. What the fuck? You are my relative?
You could have right off the bat been like, hey, look at this.
Right, and you're going on and on about how I'm going to be queen, and yet you are also an heir?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, really
Why are
curious.
you putting this pressure on me to lead because I'm this golden person, and yet you get to hide it because you get to, because that is where your gold is.
And just him being like the lead fighter, I'm like, how does anyone else know? Like, I'm really curious.
And does anyone else know? That's a good question.
But that had to be like you can't cut any part of your body, and you're the leader of this rebellion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just so many questions. Really, so many questions.
Anyway.
It is just, though, a wild, stressful scene when she decides to go with, like, the servants. I'm just gonna go with them, and then that all starts to happen. I was kind of stressed. Like, when everything's... And then when, like, Slade's mom sees it's her. And then she's like, Slade. She thinks Slade walks in the room. Oh, and then realizing she has that, like, same feeling. And then, like, the rot in her gold is coming out more. And then the rot that's already, like, in the house is reacting to her.
Starts to react to her. Yeah.
It's just such a crazy...
And then Stanton is like, why is it reacting to you?
Yeah, he's just so confused.
And I guess something I wondered too, like Stanton's reaction to the rot, and then them being mates, and then him being present for that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like...
He's like, tell me what connection you have to my son.
Is your son... your enemy? Like, I'm actually like, I'm not sure. Like, if your son was here right now, would you try to kill your own son? Or, like,
the reaction I'm getting is I don't think so.
Would you try and use him? Like, I'm really confused as to what Stanton's motivations are.
I think a bit of both. I think he actually does, it's his son. I think he does actually care for him in his way.
Does.
You don't?
No, I think he sees Slade for his power.
Yeah.
He's like, where's my son? How can I make him comply? How can I use him?
I wasn't reading it quite as that. I think I was reading it with like a bit of half and half. Like there is like emotion there. But
get out of here.
He was like 15 when that happened. Or
yeah, I don't believe the good.
No, that's.
I think it's
pretty
a very
in character for myself.
You're too positive, Jamie. I think it's very.
Try and see the good in everybody.
Okay, let's go to this ending. We have to talk about the mate thing, but their auras combine. We get Auren's POV on it, right? So Auren.
Oh my god, yes, and it's so pretty in the book, and I love it.
Okay, so they're betrayed by Brenner. Auren realizes, of course, like taps into the smell, realizes that he is the one that took her from Auren Aurea in the first place.
And
right?
which earlier on she had that reaction to seeing him, something about the smell. When she first met
seeing
him.
and then she had a negative reaction to the fairy ring, even though Emery was like, "Oh, wasn't that a wonderful
yes, I wrote
experience?"
That. Yeah,
and
everyone
like,
else loves
I
it.
like that. And now we talked about in the last episode, we're like, "Oh, I hope that we get to know I hope that we get to know how Auren got to Aurea."
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot that we actually got
Same.
to know how Auren got to Aurea.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it as if like, oh, I hope Raven Kennedy includes us in Goldfinch, how she got to Aurea.
I did remember that it had something to do with him.
Okay.
I remembered that part, but that was it. But I had totally forgotten that we had actually found it out. This is the one book where there was so much foreshadowing for me. When you're rereading, especially, it's so great.
So Leto gets killed. Oh. Did you have more?
Okay, wait, Leto.
Leto.
What?
What?
Like Ludo?
Do you not know that he gets killed?
Did I not
Jamie?
That?
No, he gets killed.
Like the horse friend guy?
Yeah,
Ludo,
the blue-haired guy.
He gets killed?
Yes.
How did I miss that?
Sorry, Ludo, not Leto. Am I doing a big reveal right now?
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Yeah, when they get to the end scene, they're at the castle.
Yeah.
It's quick. It's not like explicit, but it's like when Auren has that little worm in her brain from that person.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's like out of it, but like you get enough context clues that he. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Are you Googling it?
I'm literally gonna open the book.
100% positive.
Oh, but that's fucking sad.
I know, especially when he's on our casting call today.
Yeah. I'm really thrown off by this. I really thought more was like gonna happen with him. I didn't.
Oh no, he's a dispensable side character.
Casting call. Casting call. Girls Part 2.
We have a lot today. We have 5 today.
Yeah.
That's because I kept adding them because I kept forgetting characters.
You did, and then you kept changing things, and okay.
I'm so sorry. Okay, let's start with King Ty Carrick. I have said in a previous last episode that I thought he was hot, and then I felt awkward about it because I'm like, he's super evil, and like I'm not supposed to be attracted to him, but for some reason
now I gotta find a hot king.
But I'm like turned on, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be, and you know why? You know why? It's because I cast him as Edgar Ramirez in my head.
Oh, yep. Love that man.
And I couldn't imagine someone different for some reason. I just kept imagining him as that. So I'm like,
yeah, that makes
sense. I know I'm
sense.
not supposed to like him, but he's so hot, right?
That's a really great choice. I have Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh. Oh, I like that.
Right?
No, that's a really good choice. He would be so good at that.
Yeah, love Joaquin. And again, both hot kings. So.
Yeah. Okay, who's your Wick?
This was hard for me.
Yeah.
Jay Hernandez.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good, yep.
And I don't know, I haven't really seen him anything too recent, but I love Jay Hernandez, so.
I have Dom Gleason.
Oh, wait. Is he redhead? Right?
Yeah, he was Bill in Harry Potter.
Yes, yes.
He
He was in that therapy show with Steve Carell, and he was so good.
Oh, I didn't see that show. But I remember him from Ex Machina, and also his dad is Mad Eye Moody.
Yes, yes, he's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also weird because I did have a redhead originally cast as Wick.
Mm-hmm.
And this time around, like reading the description more and like paying attention more, then I went to Jay Hernandez. But originally, I had more of his vibes.
Yeah, I don't think I was paying attention to the detail. Yeah. Okay, Emily.
I have Maya Hawke.
Oh, that's a really good choice.
Okay.
She is the voice in Inside Out 2 of anxiety.
I heard that.
I didn't know that. I actually thought it was someone else's voice.
Oh.
And then I looked it up for some reason. I think I was looking it up because my child didn't know the name of like the characters, but then I saw it was my and I was like, oh, that's not who I thought the voice was.
Yes, I was listening to an interview with Amy Poehler, and she was naming everyone, and she said that. I was like, oh.
Well, it's on Disney
TV
Plus now,
yeah.
so I've watched it the last 2 days. Anyway, so my Emily is Naomi Scott, which I think is a similar vibe to Maya Hawke. So she is in Aladdin and Charlie's Angels and
I love her.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, I really like her.
Same vibes, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
My other one, I had actually originally was Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh.
Which I also kind of feel is
the same vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, like just like Jennifer Lawrence as herself, pretty much.
Yeah. She might be too like main character, but yeah.
But she could still do it.
I feel like Emily is a really good friend and like really cheerful.
But also
and,
awkward.
Like a little bit kooky.
And sad at the same time.
And sad.
I feel like there's like a lot of sadness in her.
Yeah, and maybe
she's lost
Jennifer
a lot of people.
Lawrence and what is that one that she's in with Bradley Cooper?
Ooh, Silver Linings Playbook.
Silver Linings, yeah. If like her from that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, but more cheerful. Okay, Ludo, and I'm so sorry, Ludo, that you died.
Same. This is really new to me.
So, Iman Esfandi. He's in like a Star Wars show.
Never heard of him or seen him, but he's very beautiful, and I want him over my choice. So, yeah. I have Dylan Minnette, Maze Runner.
Oh,
he's the lead in it.
I know who he is. Yeah. Dylan O'Brien? Oh, no. He's in,
like 13 Reasons Why.
13 Reasons Why. No, he's a different person than Dylan in Maze Runner.
Goosebumps, Scream. But now I'm kind of like Dylan in Maze Runner. I'm picking over him.
Did you look up Dylan in Maze Runner?
Dylan O'Brien. Yeah, Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I pick him now.
He's my
I'm sorry, I'm fired.
Fourth Wing.
Yeah. Good Dane.
Yeah.
Agree.
So Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah, Dylan O'Brien.
No, that's a good choice for sure. Okay. And King Thold, which we added on last minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So the person I imagine for King Thold is one of my favorite people.
Same.
It's you don't.
No, same for my choice.
Oh, Jamie, shut up. Ncuti Gatwa. And I had to look up his name because...
Did you look up the pronunciation?
I did. Ncuti Gatwa. Okay. So it's spelled Ncuti. So he is in Sex Education, which I have mentioned several times in this podcast.
You
and
really
I'm going to assume that Jamie has not watched it yet. So if you want me to watch that...
Nobody Wants Us?
Nobody Wants Us, then you have to watch Sex Education.
That's fine. I will do it.
Okay, it's a good exchange. Because he is, he's so wonderful. He is also the most recent Doctor Who.
Oh, that's exciting.
He is also in Barbie.
Also never watched that. Oh, well, that's great. He wins.
But he is very charismatic and he is fun to watch.
Are you
And I think he would be a really good King Thold. Do you know who he is?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to show me the photo.
Sorry.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's so cute.
Oh, I love him.
Who was yours?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff? What?
It's so opposite from what you have.
What are you talking about?
Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, I want to marry Jeff Goldblum, but like, was that in the running for my King Thold? No. But I'll take it, I guess.
Like, they're not fae, really. So they're like older. And then I just kind of thought like someone with just like snakes and kind of like really masculine, but not super masculine, but also very confident.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
We really went like totally different directions.
Let's just do like Jeff Goldblum Jurassic Park for sure.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Okay, MVP?
Oh, so tough.
You gotta do MVP.
MVP. But I kind of give it to Ludo because they found out he died, so that's upsetting.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to the little girl that healed Risa.
That's what I was gonna do.
Duh, Jamie.
Okay, that's what I was gonna do. I'm like, do I do that? No, I was really going back and forth, but yeah.
She brought someone back to life.
She saved Argo. That was my main thing.
She saved Argo. She saved Risa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that one's.
Duh. I don't know what else to say.
Well, and I was also like Emily.
I also had on my list Riot. I'm like, I know he didn't do much. I'm just like,
but he's really just stepping it up.
He's stepping up, and I really like him. But I'm like, I know that's not enough for MVP, but I just
and then I was like, Osrik, just for the flower shop scene.
Yes, and then I was also like Malina, but then I'm like, Malina. I was like, oh my god, her storyline is like, I'm filled with shame and like it's just like it's so sad where I was also that I'm like I don't know if I want to give her more credit. I don't know.
Okay, you know who I'm giving it to is Dominic.
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna give it to.
Yes, that's what that was the roundabout that we needed to come back to.
Yeah, I think Dominic deserves it. Especially she's sitting with Kayla in that room.
Yeah.
In there, and she just looks over in the corner and there's a shadow, but she knows he's there.
He's the best.
Just his like support and his fucking weirdness.
He's so weird.
I love it.
But I love me a weird man.
Mm-hmm. Same.
The next time that we talk with you all, we're going to be talking Goldfinch, or we're going to be talking about A Court of Wings and Ruin. But if you are on the Plated Prisoner train, we're going to be talking about Goldfinch soon.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if Ludo's actually dead.
He is dead, Jamie. Also, we always forget to do this, but if you are following us...
Oh, yeah.
If you are a listener, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. If you are on all of the listening apps, it would be so helpful to give us 5 stars or to give us a comment or a rating or whatever. That's it. We will see you at Akawar or Goldfinch. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Toodaloo.